going on, everybody? BobbyFi with my man, Eric Sheets Haber. We have another interesting week of golf to talk about. Sheets, I'm going to let you start it off. And what do you think we should know about this before we get into it? We know we don't have a cut. Tell us a little bit more if there's anything you have a slight overview of any kind.
Yeah, so the first thing I would say is for those of you that use my my sheets for analysis of golf, you might notice that, you know, in these non-cut events that the top rated guys are going to be cheap guys. And that's just kind of the way it is because there's just less of a discrepancy usually between the top guys and the lower guys because everybody plays 4 rounds. So that's not to say that you have to just, you know, leave 5,000 on the table and play the cheap guys, right? I mean, you're still going to want to play the guys that project for, you know, a lot of fantasy points, obviously. But if you're wondering why, you know, you're looking when you rate them by like my value scores, you don't see any of the 10K guys in the top. It's just because you know, when you factor in salary and point per dollar and stuff like that, they're just not going to rate all that great. But that doesn't mean you're not going to want to play it. That's the best I can describe it.
Sure.
If you again, we'll talk about this later, but if you want to just take my projections or any projections really, whether mine or any place you use, and you run them into an optimizer, like you'll see that all kind of just takes care of itself. You know, you'll get the best projected lineup given, you know what I mean, like the salary constraints, things like that. But my natural instinct this week, again, this is it's so funny because golf, on the one hand, is very statistically oriented, yet I've never seen a sport that's so statistically oriented that people just go to narratives like and feel like so much more than some other sports. But I said, well, I just have a feeling he's going to do well, or I think that this and the hangover from this, and oh, he's coming back home to play this and stuff like that, which is, I don't know, kind of interesting to me. So with that said, I think what I would like to do, if possible, is find guys that did not have to go over all the way to Japan and then come all the way back to Memphis, right? That would be my natural instinct. And obviously, you know, if you participate in the 17 playoff, you know, for the bronze, or if you won the gold, and then you have to come back to Memphis on the reverse jet lag or whatever. You know, I'd love to avoid that if possible. I mean, all else being equal. But I'm not going to let that completely drive my my decision making. So I guess what we could do is we could talk about, you know, do like normal. You want to talk about 10K and up and see who you like and all that?
Yeah, let's do it. Why don't you pull up your screen real quick and we can go through the different tiers.
Yeah.
So I think what you said is exactly how everyone's playing this week. I don't think that there's anyone who's not playing that narrative. So I'm very happy just to shift and say F that. Like that's my initial like thought is to try not to to overweight it too much. Mm-hmm. When you get the 4 rounds out of everybody and some of these guys not having played though, I'm struggling between the guys at the top, to be honest. Xander obviously just put in the gold and is still playing this event. I'm interested in Xander and Rory just because they're going to be the lowest owned. But I definitely like DJ, and Kopka is probably going to be a little bit too high owned for me. But DJ and Morikawa are my next 2 favorites. So
I have I'm only going to have, and I'm already set with my lineup stuff. I'm only going to have 20% of Morikawa. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I'm gonna have a share of anybody over 10K aside from that. Interesting. I might.
Sorry, go ahead.
I might. Right now, I do have 6% of like DJ. But that's pretty much it. I just got guys from other tiers.
Yeah, I hear you. Isn't there a counter argument to be made that with 4 sure rounds that these guys are actually just better golfers?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I was going to throw out there.
I mean, I'm honestly just going on my projections and how the lineups build based on that. You know, I'm just kind of hoping that all of that stuff is just all factored in already. You know, and the guys that I'm playing are not going to be that highly owned, so I'm just kind of comfortable with my builds going this way. You know, if I like ran my stuff and ran it through Saberson, ran it through optimizers, and I got guys that just like a lot of chalk. I would be a little less, you know, I'd be like kind of scared about it. but the guys I'm getting are not that highly owned. So I'm just kind of comfortable with my builds.
I like it. Okay. I'm guessing that means in the next stage, why don't you start it off? But I'm just gonna take a guess. You do like Oosthuizen this week. No. Wow.
Hold on. Let me just, to the point where I don't have any. I don't have any of them. I got the same guys that I usually play. I got a lot of Berger. I have, is he even 9K? Yeah. Let me just double check that. Yeah, I got a lot of Berger. I have a lot of Scotty Scheffler.
Me too.
I have some Cantlay. I'm just going back and forth between my screens. So I forgot what these prices are. I really don't feel that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't have any DeChambeau. I got a lot of Berger. I got a lot of Scheffler, and I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't mind taking a shot with Bryce. Actually, I have Berger and Scheffler make a chalk, but I like both of them. I think that no one's going to play Hideki coming back. I just think that if everybody's zigging going one way because of a certain narrative, I'm happy to go back the other way, even if the narrative makes sense to me. Justin Thomas, Oosthuizen, Hovland, all of these guys I have rated really similarly. I think Oosthuizen is probably gonna not gonna end up making it for me, but I'm kind of like wondering why. When exactly does this guy play and not,
He just is top 5 every week.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do some of it. And these guys are still playing for FedEx Cup points and everything like that. So I am I'm into Oosthuizen, I'm into Justin Thomas a little bit, I'm into some Hideki, and then Berger and Scheffler. I'm probably leaving out the other guys, even though I like them, and I will have to have a share or two of Bryce, just because his price is down at the point where I think we should start considering playing him most weeks. So.
Okay, so I lied. I only lied. Didn't lie. I misspoke when I said I didn't have a share of any of these guys over 10K. I do have a guy who's about 25% owned in 10K, and he fits my narrative. Fits what I wanted, and believe it or not, for the first time in like 2 years, he's showing up in my projections a little bit. And I am going to be playing Jordan Spieth. That's the one guy over 10K I'm going to be playing, and that's just. He didn't play. We haven't seen him since the Open Championship. He didn't play in the Olympics. He's been playing great. He's been threatening me every freaking week that I don't play him. I have to fade him every freaking week, hoping he misses putts. And I'm gonna don't beat him. Try to join him this week, I think. So that was one thing I misspoke. I just forgot he was over 10.
Gotcha. No worries there. I got him. I have him on my list, but I didn't know where I wanted to end up with him yet. All right, let's get into the 8K range. I think this is pretty loaded.
Yep.
Why does no one want to play Tony Finau? Can you help me explain that one?
If you put it that way, I can't exactly say why nobody wants to play him. I don't think I'm gonna have much of him. I think I just like other guys a little more. Like
who do you like?
Even into I like Corey Connors more. I like Webb Simpson. And I don't know exactly why I like Webb Simpson. He never does shit for me. Ooh, look at that.
Why are people comfortable playing Corey Connors coming back?
He's flexing the curse. Why are they comfortable?
No. Coming back from the Olympics, it's like he's the only guy who is rated to have like any ownership other than Neiman. And even he's going to be way more higher on than Neiman. I'm just confused why we're okay with the guys who are cheaper. Is it for FedEx standing reasons? Is there something I'm missing here?
I guess not. I guess I'm just, again, just kind of relying on the numbers and stuff.
Sure. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree. I think Connors is getting a little bit owned. I'll tell you who's going to get owned. I'm looking at this already. So all these 7K guys that I'm going to play, like these are. I gotta probably get off of some of this because this is where the ownership's going to come from. And I like it. I like Webb. He's going to be over 10%, but over 10% in this field is not bad.
Right.
Answer is going to be over 15%. I forgot to mention Cantlay in the 9K range, by the way. He looks okay. I guess the fun is going to come from the 7Ks. I mean, but it's so funny. We'll get there. But I'm looking at my board here. I have these 6,500s that I like that I don't have in my lineups quite yet. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I will pay up for some of these Olympic guys and get off of some of these middling chalk guys. Mm-hmm. That's not the worst idea in the world.
Yeah, I mean, they're still playing for these FedEx points, and it's pretty relevant. So, you know, even the guys like Lowry and Reed are going to be overlooked because of this. But then for some reason, Neiman's supposed to get some ownership. I actually like Neiman. Obviously, I always like Neiman, but I think Answer, Connors. I actually like Connors. I just think the price is too cheap. But why not play the guy in between? Cam Smith hasn't been at his very best, but I think is still like he's really, really good. And he belongs in the category where he is. I mean, if you look at where he finished his finishing positions, he had a few bad weeks, and I think everybody came off of him. Before that, he was literally like looking like one of the best golfers in the world. He had the 4, 11, 17, 10, 9 stretch, and then he had the rough ones where he just barely made the cut and then missed 2 cuts. Then he made the cut in top 35 both the last 2. So I have interest in Cam Smith at the lower ownership between the Connors and Answer spots. But I do think Answer is, you know, a really good play, and I think Connors is a really good play. It's strange to me that they're going to be the high owned. I don't know, so much higher owned than the rest of these guys. I like Finau too, so we're a little bit on different pages with this one, but mostly I'm more interested in the 7K range as well. But I think all those guys are interesting. I just don't have them drastically different than each other.
The following 7K guys are going to be very chalky. And I like them. Harris English is going to be really chalky at 7,600. Terrell Hatton is going to be really chalky at 7,400. I need these great to be like 2 of my top 10 plays. I'm just telling you they're going to be.
Yeah.
And then maybe, you know what? I have Ian Poulter rated okay. And here's another guy I don't play.
That's a guy
but there are 2 guys that I do play that are rated high. One is Billy Horschel, and the other is Brian Harman. So I like those guys.
Yeah, so I'm actually pretty much with you on the same page for most of these guys. Hatton and English are massive priorities for me, actually. I like Zalatoris at no ownership. It's just these trends people get into of playing all these guys and then not playing them. And I sort of like the idea of playing Zalatoris here. At this price, pretty much other than that, it's the guys you mentioned, and Hatton and English being by far my favorites of the bunch.
So under 7K, I want to tell you this. I mean, and I said this in advance that the top rated like value guys are going to be cheap. So I'm gonna tell you my top 3 point per dollar plays that are not named Harris English and Terrell Hatton. Okay, so 3 of these guys, they're all under 7K. One of them we play a lot. One of them we played a couple of times. Another one I literally have never heard of. Okay. And all of them are going to be under 10%. So the guys that we played a lot are Siwoo Kim. He's 6,400 at 5%, apparently. And then I have Max Homa at 6,700. He might get a little ownership, but whatever. And then a guy I've literally never heard of, a guy named Aaron Rai or Ray. It sounds like a Kenny play. I gotta ask him about Aaron Ray, but he is, for me, rated my 4th top value on the whole board for whatever that's worth. So I'm probably that'll be the guy. You know what? Maybe something like Bryson, Bryson, you know, with Aaron Ray, you know, maybe something like that. So I do have him rated high, but he's not showing up necessarily in my lineups because I don't have the 10K guys rated so high. But I'll probably jam some Aaron Ray in there just for kicks.
Yeah, so it's very easy to play the 10K guys because I think the 6K range is completely loaded. Sam Burns is 6,900. Matt Wolff is 6,800. Start there, in my opinion.
Matt Jones is 6,200. By the way.
Matt Jones is 6,200. But Wolff and Burns are the ones who I would, you know, who can literally go out and win this tournament. Even Cam Davis at 6,900 as well. So I really like the cheaper range. I don't think we need to find guys who we just want to finish in the top 30. We want to get guys who can get us some points. And Burns, Wolff definitely fit that category too. Homa as well. Davis, Ryan Palmer is 6,500. I'm not as into the Siwoo Kim thing, but I get it. Again, if I'm gonna slant on anybody, it's the guy who needed to win as much as anybody else did in that Olympics, and that's a real hangover situation to me. But Matt Jones, I like as well. I'm going to be doing a lot of business and probably have multiple 6K players in all of my lineups, and that's going to make it so I can. I'm almost either going to have to force in people, leave money on the table, or stay out of the 8K range and just spend in the 9Ks and 9Ks, 10Ks, and 6Ks with a little bit of the 7Ks. But I don't think you need to. The 8K range is my least favorite, even though I like some of the guys just when you factor in ownership and everything. So I'm probably going to end up more in the 9K, 10K, and 6K range.
All right, so let's just have some fun. Who's winning?
I think Morikawa stands the best chance to win. Not the most fun pick in the world, but he would be the guy who, I'm going to end up jamming in probably because I can afford him.
Yeah, I'll go with Jordan Spieth.
Okay, I like that.
Under 10K to make top. I guess you got to get top 5, right?
Under 10K to get top 5. Yeah, you go first.
I'll go Max Scherzer. No, under 10K to get top 5. I mean, I still can't believe he's under 10K. I'm gonna go with in the same boat. I'll do the same guy I always play. I'll be freaking Berger again. Why not?
Okay, you take Berger, I'll take Scheffler. Either way, we're both taking chalk here.
Yeah.
But we can get different because there are these low on guys that are
under 9K to get top 10. Play anybody. I mean.
So I'm gonna just for the sake of what we're doing, sort of talk about go with I'll take Tyrrell Hatton even though he's in the 7K range.
Okay, I'll go with Webb Simpson.
Okay, I'm gonna have to add Webb Simpson now because the rule is we have to play.
Right.
We mentioned.
Well, I'm gonna now play freaking what's his name because you reminded me that Matt Wolf. So there you go.
Yeah. So under 7K, I'm just gonna use a couple 6K. I'm under 8K. I really like Will Zalatoris as an off the board play this week. But I'm gonna go with. I'll start with Matt Wolf and I'll start with Sam Burns, I guess, and then I'm gonna go
back to my man. I haven't played him in a while. I haven't seen him play in a while, but I'm gonna go back to Billy Horschel. I've been a lot of success with him. So
yeah, I feel like he's underrated. But it's funny. This is actually a pretty good tournament, which just shows you they're getting ready for the FedEx thing. So I think people are going to take this tournament very seriously. Matt Wolf at 6,800. How come people aren't playing him? Am I missing something?
Yeah, I don't think he's done much recently, has he?
I mean, he after coming back from being gone, he finished 58th and 39th. It's not like he was great, but he was certainly not like the worst in the world. And we all know the talent level is right there with the guys near the top when he's on. It's funny because here I am saying all this stuff about the Olympics, and usually Ortiz and Kim would be the guys I'd be playing down in the 6K range. But for some reason, I'm picking on them with it, and I'm not picking on my other guys who were at the Olympics at the top. You know what I mean? Like the Rory and Xander.
So I guess we're both going to agree that the 7K guys we're going to just pick are going to be Wolf and Burns.
Wolf and Burns are my top 2, but I think Ryan Palmer is interesting. I think Max Homa is interesting. I think Cam Davis is interesting. I really like the 6K range. That's going to be where I'll have 2 players from 6K, I think, in every lineup. I really believe that. I think I will. Okay.
So that's about it. I want one other thing from you. Okay.
Yes,
you watching my screen?
Yep.
Can we get a root?
Let's freaking go, man.
And dude, and look at who we get a root against. Look who's in second. Wait. And look who's in fourth. We got all the people we can root.
It's awfully early considering most of my guys haven't even started yet.
Well, obviously, but I mean,
I'm just kidding. Let's go, man. No, this is beautiful. Hopefully the baseball holds up, and by the time people see the golf show, that 20K is actually in your account. I can't be as good as well, I'm gonna get that. All right, I'll talk to you later. Good luck, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great week. Hello.